And all empires always come to an end. The Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, Chinese were the earliest. Chinese were the first guys to use paper.
Right.
So what we're looking at today is the end of the American Empire. So it's a very dangerous time. It's explosive, with Palestine and Gaza. All the stuff that's going on is an end of times. Not biblical, but just an end of an era. And the trouble when this comes to an end, war follows. That's what I'm afraid of. I went to Vietnam twice. I was a pilot in Vietnam, so I saw war. It's not good, obviously. I feel for both Palestinians and the Israelis, but we're in dangerous times.
So,
every empire dies when they violate this, when they change the money. So congratulations on all your success about being a real estate guy, because this was 64, then 71. President Nixon took the dollar off of the gold standard. And the reason you're doing so well today is because the dollar became debt, right? So real estate guys, like my friend Trump and all that, we get rich using debt. Whereas the average person is told to work hard, this is toilet paper, save this, stay out of debt. And they're going broke today. I'm afraid for the average punter out there, So we're in serious trouble because with the end of the American Empire, is China going to take over? I don't know. This was backed by gold and silver. And then Nixon took it off. This became debt. That's one of the most important things, because now it became debt. For me to get rich, I had to use debt. But what do our schools teach us? Stay out of debt. That's how stupid school teachers are. Debt makes guys like you and me rich. And ironically, because we use debt, we don't pay any taxes. We don't pay taxes legally. The Clintons and Obamas, man, what a bunch of crooks they are.
Really?
But all politicians are crooks anyway. Anyway, I'm not getting political here. But Hillary Clinton, she was running against Trump. She says, and you don't even pay taxes. And what does Trump say to her? He means I'm smart. So today, this is a U.S. silver buffalo. You can buy this for $30 U.S. I don't know it in pounds. This is $2,200. Okay. So which would you rather have today? Would you rather have this piece of toilet paper? Would you rather have this piece of silver? Or would you rather have gold? The average person wants the paper. This is toilet paper. And that's why people are in trouble today, because America is about to crash, as you know. We're in serious trouble. Our debt is at an all-time high. America is now the biggest debtor nation in the world. Wow. Worse than Japan. So Japan has high debt, but the Japanese people are rich because they save. Americans are in debt, the country is in debt, and we have this guy Biden putting us more in debt. The first thing that Biden did when he came to office, I'm an oil guy, I went to school for oil. I drove tankers with Standard Oil. First thing that Biden did was he cut the Keystone pipeline. The pipeline ran from Canada all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. When he cut that pipeline, that was Biden did. Trump loved it. But when Biden cut it, I still sell oil. I'm an oil guy. The spooky thing about the world economy is the gap between rich and poor getting wider, because people are working for this and not this and this here. So the question I ask people, which is the better investment? Gold, silver, or paper?
Well, I think since 71, fiat currency, certainly the pound, is down more than 85% of its value, whereas gold's up thousands of percent in the same time.
Yeah.
So I know, well, let me just ask it straight. Why isn't this taught in schools? Because surely people should know this stuff. Because
school teachers are Marxist. My poor dad, rich dad, poor dad, it's a story of a Marxist versus a capitalist. My poor dad was an academic type. He was a PhD, which stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. You know, he was a smart guy. He was in school all the time. He knew all the answers to everything. But he didn't know anything about this here. And my rich dad was a man who had no school, and he ran the family store. So as a boy of 13, he began learning about money. And he started saying, he says, the mistake is our schools teach us to work for this, not this. Well, because Dave Ramsey is a idiot, that's why he's shitting me. You guys are real estate guys. Dave Ramsey is not your teacher. You're their teacher. Does that make sense? So like I'm a pilot. I didn't ask a basketball player to teach me how to to fly. So when I went to Vietnam, I wanted the best teachers. So if you're going to be in real estate, Dave Ramsey is not your teacher. You are. If you understand that, you choose your teachers. So Ramsey's advice is good for the average person who is trying to save this stuff here. Think about this, okay? I was flying in Vietnam. I bought my first gold coin. I paid $50 for it. So it was 50 of these for one of these. Today is 2,200 for one of these.
And what has the dollars gone down by?
And mom and daddy are working hard, staying out of debt like frickin' idiots.
Yeah.
But it's best advice for mom and dad. If you're going to be a rich man or a poor man, a rich man, your end game is gold. This has been money for centuries. This is silver. It's the better investment today. In the US, it takes 35 of these to buy one of these. So I tell my brothers and my sisters and all that, hey, trade this piece of toilet paper in for this. Oh no, Dave Ramsey said save money. And my family's broke. But they follow my poor dad. They go, I have a master's degree, what do you have?
And a master's degree can get someone 100,000 in debt, can't it? Bad debt.
I'm $1 billion in debt. They think bonds are safe. But now that interest rates are going like this, see, when interest rates goes up, the bonds come down. So today, the US Federal Reserve President, Chairman Powell, he's raising interest rates. Bonds are coming down. Our banks are crashing. When our banks crash, they can't lend this out. And when they can't lend this out, the economy crashes.
And why do the schools want us to do that?
Because they're Marxists.
And when you say they're Marxists, what do you mean?
But they don't teach us about money. They teach us about what? ESG, environment, social governance. That's Marxism. They're communists. I flew in Vietnam for the US Marine Corps, killing communists. We had to. But they came to our school system they came into America via the school system. Communism entered America in 1930 when teachers from Berlin came to Columbia University in America and started teaching at Columbia University's Teachers College. So Marxism spread across America via academics, my poor dad. So poor dad, rich dad, it's a story of a Marxist versus a capitalist. It's a free country, choose what you want to be. I chose capitalist. I don't trust the Chinese communists. You know, that's why they're communists. That's why what Klaus Schwab says, you own nothing, someday you'll own nothing, you'll be happy. That's Marxism, that's communism. You will own nothing. So when the Chinese took my gold mine from me, I said, I'm staying out of China. You know, like my books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they pirated the whole thing. They don't pay me anything.
Really?
They steal.
Wow.
It's part of their, let's say, culture. What I'm asking right now is most people watching today are choosing this.
They're choosing pounds and pence, dollars and cents.
Rich Dad was my best friend's father. And he had nothing to start, and he built his empire. So if you go to Waikiki Beach today in Hawaii, you look at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, that's their land. They don't own the hotel, they own the land. So he started with nothing. He kept doing what Americans call it 1031, their tax-free exchanges and all this stuff. So his plan was to buy a whole section of Waikiki Beach and he bought it. So today it belongs to the family. But another rule I've heard is that the first generation makes it. The second generation was my best friend and I. The third generation was his son. Guess what?
Son squandering it?
It's gone. The third generation lost it all.
Because they didn't learn the skills required to build it.
They had a good time. Plus,
Oh, really? Yeah.
bad habits will
Yeah.
kill you, you know.
But I often think a lot of money without understanding how it works is a curse. Would you agree?
Yeah. Plus addictions.
Yeah.
You know, homelessness is not homelessness. Homelessness is addiction.
Right.
So they just can't function in society.
Do you think a big recession is coming? Bigger than big?
I think that's why I started this whole thing. It's the end of this. We're at the end of the American Empire. The question is it China next? That's the question. There was a man named Buckminster Fuller. He was with the geodesic domes and all that. He said civilization went what he called a northwest spiral. So his prediction was it started in Thailand, came across Europe. So that's when the Middle East boomed. Then France boomed, England boomed, US boomed, Japan boomed, China. That was Fuller's prediction.
Right.
So I'm not saying it's true, but when I look at it, it seems to be